Hi again, everybody. It's Carolyn. I'm here to share another channeled message from the LightKeepers, a group of angelic beings I channel for your awakening support, and then I give you my experiences and some learnings that you can take into your own journey. So I'm Carolyn. I'm a channel, a distance energy healer, and a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels so that you can get support along your journey from this group of angelic beings who, as many of you know if you've listened to my welcome video, appeared to me in Sedona, Arizona. You can see that whole story, listen to that whole story on my YouTube channel, Carolyn Zaiser. You can also get 6 tips on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness, because as you know, during this awakening journey, so much happens to our body. And these are 6 tips to offer you as you move through your journey. Plus, it leads you to a bunch more free content from me. So today's channel is kind of about mourning the past, and I'm going to talk about that a bit. This is a new one. It's a little longer and I say that because it is a little longer than my typical ones. A lot of them have been shorter lately, but now they're starting to do these longer ones, which is kind of cool. All right, here's the channel. The deep soul wishing to tell you who you are, the truth of you. Pushing it down you've done so long, never knowing really who you have been in humankind all along. And now you can't fight it or think you can, and that is only when dissonance grows at hand. Pulling you back and forth, we say, wondering why you are being pulled in a way you have never known before in your life. Oh yes, you said, I had a wonderful time in this life that I had before. Why am I being asked to close that door? For as we say, there is beauty and more coming to you that you have never explored. And yet you experienced life then, but with your blinders on. Now so much more is coming your way. And yes, great sadness may find you grasping at straws, wondering what is happening to your life. The one that you thought was filled with beauty, but instead it was a hall of mirrors for you too. And now as you move forward in time to see that there is much more when you follow the deep inside, opening your heart up and your mind to new ways of thinking and feeling too. Looking back on those days, we say, yes, you can integrate them now in a different way. Bringing a new light into the people and experiences you had back then in that day that you thought were so idyllic, but you never understood what the awakening meant in your way, never knowing it existed so true. Didn't you ever wonder why you felt like there had to be something more too? And now you know what it is we say, letting yourself go and flowing in the way that only the awakening can do for one. Moving the human out of the soul to become all that it knew in its way, leading the human now of you today to a brighter glory. It is so true. Seeing now what more you can do, working out of the heart of you. So this really talks to, in my experience, some of the times I still go through now where you get kind of frumpy or you're going through difficult times. And you're thinking, you know what? I've learned so much. There's still so much to learn. And you know how that is. It's just kind of engulfs you like all this that we don't know. You can get mad about it. You can get upset about the way things are. You can get overwhelmed. And sometimes you just get exhausted and you think, I kind of just want that life back, the one I had before. That really you're just wandering through in your haze. And it was okay. And yet you know it's not okay, right? I mean, because this is beautiful, but it's also torturous in many different ways, but it's beautiful and you wouldn't give it up, typically, right? And, you know, I have to say, they speak here to the part, what did they say? Like, didn't you wonder at one time why, like you felt there was something more? Yes, so many times in my life, because, I mean, all of my life, with the exception of the last primarily 4 years, but the last 9 has been lived without any understanding of anything spiritual other than from the religious perspective, right? Which really wasn't that prevalent for me. But I always, particularly in my older years, started thinking, wow, is this all there is? Even though I have had a beautiful life, honestly. It's not been without its struggles, as anyone's is, but it's been beautiful. But I still felt that way. And I always wondered, why did I feel that way? And I'm pretty introspective, so I would kind of sit with that. But when I would say my prayers, because I always would say a morning, and I still do, morning and evening prayer. But for years since I was young, like we're talking late teens, 20s, part of my prayer would be having to do with use me as your vessel because I know I'm here to help save the world. Well, that had no frame of reference for my life in general and the things that were happening. That just sounds ludicrous when I think about it. And I always remember thinking about that, like I knew deep inside I was supposed to help save the world. Well, what the heck did that even mean? Well, I went through a long phase of, which is a lovely thing, but I went through a long phase of charitable giving and supporting of, I have a couple children I support through organizations to help them get through school in their countries and whatnot. And I love that, right? But it was all about that. I thought that's what my mission was to provide funding and support in that manner. And I went through years of that, which I'm so glad I did because it brought so much joy, but there was something still missing. Then I went through this, and this is all pretty much in the last 10 years, went through the journey of I wanted to join the Peace Corps. I thought, well, that'll do it. I'll make a big impact there. That'll be my... And then I realized that wasn't it, even though I think I would have loved the Peace Corps. But this was bubbling up in me. So this is what's going to happen. I mean, or has probably happened for many of you, is you can look back on your life and go, oh yeah, I knew something was up. I wasn't happy fully, even though I seemed happy and had a pleasurable life. Something was itching at you, but you couldn't determine what it was, just like the examples I've given of myself. And yet, I will say, like I said earlier, as you go through this journey, and sometimes I think this starts when all the magical stuff starts to subside. And I've talked about this in another video. Initially, lots of times what'll happen, you'll get just exploded open with all these signs and messages and blah, 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 and they'll last for whatever period of time they last for you, right? But they're all the time and they're just excited about your journey. Even though you know, like I said, go through struggles. But then it's almost like once the universe gets it that you've got it, they kind of go, okay, she's got this. And then they start to subside. Now they'll keep coming back and you typically will keep getting the numbers. But the point is this is the times where I sit there and go, what is this all about? I kind of miss not knowing all the stuff I didn't know, even though I'm grateful. So I'll go through that thing. That's part of the journey. So just know that. Don't get frustrated about it. Don't get worried about it. I mean, and they talk about how, yes, you can start integrating it back in. Again, that's another video that I think I did through my email list, talking about integrating the 5D. I talk about higher vibration by 5D. Higher vibration with that 5D, that frequency you're in, down into bringing it into 3D and integrating that into your life. All right, that's another video. But the point is you can integrate this into your day-to-day life because we're still human. We're still here, but we're gonna pine for those days at times. But again, we'll be able to look back and go, you know what? There's a purpose in that, and now look what is opening up to me that I can actually use to live my human life. So that's what I had to share with you today from my experiences, and I hope you have something you can take away to use in your own experiences as you go through your awakening journey. So again, I wish to remind you of my services on purplerainhealing.com. I would love to work with you. I've worked with so many of you already, and I so appreciate getting to know you one-on-one through my spiritual awakening mentoring, or if you choose to do a channeled messages session with me or distance energy healing. Check it out. I would love to work with you on your journey and help launch you forward. With that, I'm going to leave you today, and I will see you in the next video.